Being a gamer has its own perks. We could see another universe that is ahead of our time or seeing things that have never been seen in our real life. But for a long-time gamer like us here, when you've played enough video games, you'll notice that not everything in the gaming world is fine and dandy. Sometimes it could be bad for you or even breaking the law. What's up, guys? It's me, Mr. Sass. Today we're going to talk about 5 bad practices in video games that you should avoid. Without further ado, let's get to it. Starting off with number 5, excessive grinding. I personally don't mind grinding. You could say, at some degree, it's actually normal in the video game worlds. In the right amount of time, I wouldn't mind killing some monster in order to get my character stronger, or to be prepared for a big boss battle so you'll get a more edge in later battle, because, you know, more experience points, more skills to spend, things like that. But I'd be mad if I have to grind my ass off to the point like I don't have anything better to do besides sitting my ass all day long. Is that what you think it is back then, EA? The question now is, why do you have to avoid games that have this mechanic? It's simple. First, these kinds of games will spend your valuable time. I know that games are actually meant to be enjoyed to kill some free time, but believe me, guys, it's better to spend your 5 hours in a good game rather than in a bad game. And this is related to our next points, number 4 and number 3. More on that later. Because the game that usually pushes you towards endless grinding is usually somewhat a bad game. Why? Because they have nothing more for you to offer. Either they have a shallow game loop, or they simply push you to spend more money on their in-game currency, so that you could bypass the grinding. Oh, so you're at level 10? Want to just get to level 100 in no time? Buy this sword. It will kill any enemies with ease. Oh, wait, the price is $50. Oh, wait, you only get it after 10 times of spinning this Wheel of Fortune. Next thing you know, you have spent more than the base game's actual price. Like I said before, at some point, the excessive grinding is usually closely related to the number 4 game, gacha. Now let me be clear here. Gacha is a form of microtransaction in the game, but not all microtransactions are bad. Things like optional character skins, optional weapon skins, etc. Okay, so what exactly is gacha? In simple terms, it's a loot box, but the origins of the words came from Japan, where, you know, do you remember that little toy vending machine when you were a kid? You know, the one that you insert a 50 cents or $1, press the lever, and then a toy and plastic shell comes out. That's the slang term it comes from. By doing gacha, it means that you are not buying what you want, but relying on percentage results to get what you want. Yeah, it's a loot box, like I said. In other words, it's gambling, only in fancier words. But don't get me wrong, I don't judge people who love gambling. Hey, it's each to their own, right? But as a gamer, I'm here just trying to express my concern regarding bad practices towards gamers like me. Well, us. Gaming and gambling are 2 leisure activities that are similar but are way too different in each of their fundamentals. Video games, in fundamentals, are a product, just like shoes, shirts, or any other tangible stuff. You lose some money, sure, but in exchange, you get the product. It is yours. True that nowadays video games are mostly in digital forms, but the point is, you get what you paid. You may not have the physical form of it like the CD or anything like the old days. But when you open your account, it will always be there for you to install, uninstall, play, whatever you want. While gambling, on the other hand, you lose some money, and in exchange, you'll only get the chance to win some prizes. We can debate that some gambling games actually have some loopholes in their rules, or some gambling games can be won with sophisticated math, things like that. Fine, that's your business as a gambler, but here I just want to point out, when that practice is injected into the game, to grab more cash from us, the players, we should be smarter not to succumb to these kinds of developers. The fair and simple reason why you should avoid gacha in the game is that it's addictive. Maybe it's not really a problem if you have a rich daddy or a rich mommy. But for the general population, the game is all about experience. You play the stuff, man. You progress, well, through playing it. You discover the game stories, you develop your character by playing it. What's the point if you just want to show off your $500 gacha skin? Showing off? Buy a Ferrari if you really want to show off. Post it on your social media or something. Moreover, for you, my 9-to-5 gamer, once you're addicted to gacha in your game, you'll be ready for some serious money problems. You could end up in debt just to satisfy your gotcha experience. No offense, but I'm serious as shit, man. I mean, the base game is free, but you need to get a certain hero to progress, otherwise you'll be grinding for the rest of your life. But to get those heroes, you need to spend like $5 to $50 before you could actually have it. Come on, get a life. Oh, maybe they advertise it like 10 spins guarantee you this skin or this weapon. Same shit, different words, man. Be smart. I believe you gamers out there are smarter than that. Be sure always to get what you pay. And next is number 3, playing bad video games. Okay, before some of you get triggered and say, hey, that's very subjective, dude. Hold your horses, let me explain. It's true that a video game is just like any other thing in this world. It's a matter of taste. But here's the interesting fact about taste. Let's just use a food analogy here to make it easier. One could say that fried chicken is the best food in the world, and another guy argues that a cheeseburger is actually the best food in the world. So, who's right? Well, they both are right in their own choices, but here's the kick. One should know what kind of fried chicken is categorized as good fried chicken, and what kind of cheeseburger could be categorized as a bad cheeseburger. The same things apply here in video game choices. One could argue that real-time strategy is the best game genre ever, and another guy could argue that first-person shooter is the best. They are both correct in their own taste. But when it comes to the bad RTS game titles or good FPS game titles, we all here should know the differences. I mean, come on. You could always check out Metacritic, ask your gamer friends, view some reviews on YouTube. Don't be lazy. Always play the good stuff, man. And here's the reason why you should avoid the bad games. Bad games only set your mindset of the game to a low level. Often, these games are very cost-effective production. They cut all creative processes as to why a game should be considered a form of art. Picture this, you only play the Postal game. Google it up if you're curious, but I just don't recommend it. It's a very, very bad game, like hilariously bad. Postal game was and still is famous for its bad humor and absurdity. But in general, it's just a bad game. Okay, imagine you only play the Postal game since you are a kid until you grow up. You are never curious about another game. You never discuss it with your friend. You only knew and only play Postal. What do you think is gonna happen? At some point, your brain will start to agree that this game is everything. This game is the best. But the fact is that there are actually good or even better FPS games out there like Call of Duty, or Prey, Half-Life 2, BioShock. You can only understand what's good in the game by experiencing a better one. Once you played it, you knew what you're going to expect for the game, you'll see. And this, my friend, it's called evolving. Avoid bad games at all cost. You'll be happier, you will have a better taste at gaming, and smarter as well. And at number 2, we have cheating in multiplayer games. This one is like goes without saying, but it's not rare that I witnessed a gamer that actually cheats in multiplayer game. I mean, seriously? Let me be clear here. I don't mind cheating in a single-player game where nobody gets hurt because you are cheating. Like, okay, maybe you just got tired of losing in a certain GTA mission and you have to repeat the mission over and over again. Maybe you just had a bad day, or maybe you just don't know yet how to overcome the challenge, and you just want to know what's going to happen next by using a cheat to bypass this part. That's okay, I understand that. Believe me, I've been there. Or maybe you just want to summon a race car into the battle. That's okay, man, have at it. But never, I repeat, never use cheats in a multiplayer game. Stuff like aiming bots, see-through wall, invincibility, that's garbage, man, pure garbage. I mean, what? You like to laugh at others' misery? If that's the case, maybe you should go to a psychiatrist, man. I know a good one. Or what? You just want to belittle the other guy who's new to the game? Is that how petty you are? Damn, I got too worked up on this. Sorry. But seriously, cheating in multiplayer is no joke, man. It's not cool. Luckily, many platforms nowadays like Valve or Battle.net or Riot already have their own advanced anti-cheat system. Even though sometimes there are still people who can cheat and get away with it, still, I think at this point, both the general players and the developers agree that cheats in multiplayer are something that shouldn't be taken lightly. You want to get famous? Get good in a multiplayer game? Get good. Work on your aiming skills, work on your keyboard shortcuts, and micromanaging your units. You can't? Then don't play it. Simple as that. No need to harm others because of your incompetency or lack of empathy by using cheats. Remember, playing the game is supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun because you are not good and you don't want to get good, then don't play it. Play something else. Finally, at number 1, playing pirated game. Boy, this is a tough one. Maybe some butt's gonna hurt hearing this, but okay. I try to be civilized. First, understand this. Gaming is not really a cheap hobby. There, I said it. Take a pause if you need it. Let those words sink in. Got it? Okay. Let me elaborate now. While it's not as expensive as collecting sports cars or throwing money away like Tej did in Furious 6, it's still regarded as one of the expensive hobbies. I don't know about you, but to get an enjoyable frame rate, I don't think we're looking at a $500 PC, guys. Sure, you can get a PS5 with that price, but how about the games? You still have to spend more money on the games, right? Right? This is what I mean, guys. Pirating is not cool. You want to enjoy the game but not pay for it. I mean, seriously? I'm just gonna drop you this fact, man. When you play a pirated game, maybe you are not harming yourself. Maybe you are very tech-savvy so that you could avoid those pesky phishing scam malwares, or you just know where the good source is. Geez, I don't know, but that isn't the problem here, friend. By playing a pirated game, especially from the indie developer, you play their game, a game which they build from scratch. Things they nurture with passion, just like us gamers. Sometimes they lose a few sleeps or meals, while they got nothing in return. Because a pirated game has nothing to do with their profit. No, not a single cent goes to the developers. So what's happening next? They lose profit because they can't pay off their team, and they can't continue making the game that we love to play. If that's the case, so is it okay to play the pirated AAA game? No. The same thing applies here. Okay, look, if you're really annoyed by a certain developer, I don't know, maybe because of their greed by launching DLC after DLC, which is supposed to be available in the base game, well, just don't buy their game. It's better than pirating them. Because by not buying it, the developers will understand that their game is not good enough for us to buy, and hopefully they will learn. But if you are pirating it, you broke the law, man. Just think about it. So, there you have it, guys. 5 bad practices in video game that you should avoid. Did we miss anything, or maybe you have your own opinion? Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you enjoyed this kind of video, please hit the like button and don't forget to enable notifications. If you haven't subscribed yet, doing so would be a great help for us in growing this channel. Have a nice day, and thank you for watching.